So I'm just showing you that I have the book. I have read the book. Because a lot of people do Sunday worship. What day you worship?
What day I worship?
Yeah.
I worship every day.
The people of Sodom and Gomorrah had beds erected in the streets of the city. It says in 2:1, it tells you that the angels went before God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Keep the Sabbath
Keep holy
day
the Sabbath day.
holy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a commandment. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwelling. And the 14th day of the first month is the Lord's Passover. Right? We dealing with Bible. There we go, there we go. All right, so without further ado, how you doing? How you doing? Everybody out there on my other platforms, how you doing? This is, again, a lesson, not a Sabbath lesson, but more of a Bible study lesson, which we're dealing with. You know, I'm gonna go through some of the Old Testament more likely because when we start dealing with Bible, the first thing we do is we run to the New Testament, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? But you can't get to the New Testament unless you know the Old Testament. You're dealing with people who have no knowledge of the Bible, you know. And don't get me wrong, you know, we know that a lot of things been changed around in the Bible, but it's certain things that, you know, it's the core. Things been changed, our name, our language, you know, and that go a long way, which I'm not going to get into right now. But at the same time, I want y'all to, you know, just, I'm going to go over some basic information, just regular basic things that, you know, you might or might not know. All right. Right now, I want to go and deal with Noah. Okay. Now Noah, he got two bloodlines. That's very, very important. That works out with the Bible. And the two bloodlines that we're dealing with Shem and we're dealing with Ham. Right? Remember, after the flood, the 40 days, 40 nights, which again was the second flood, because we know Gihon, the river, was the first flood that God put on the earth, which a lot of people don't really know. But the river Gihon, which you will read about in the book of Jasher. Now, well, let's start from the flood. We call the other side of the flood. Now, on the other side of the flood, we have Noah, his 3 sons, his 3 wives. Noah's wife. We got 8 people along with the animals and whatever, you know, whoever else was survived the flood. Outside the angels that hid, as they say in the cave, Og for one. But we got Shem and we got Ham. Now, we understand that President Obama, he was not a Negro. He was from the tribe Ham, which I believe was Cushite. He was a Cushite. So I want people to understand that Obama was not. He looked like us, he sounded like us, he acted like us, but he was not one of us. He was not Negro, right? So I want to make that known. Obama was not Negro. He was from the tribe of Ham, which was a Cushite, which is the slave, which when Noah cursed Ham's son Canaan. You know, Ham was a cursed seed. Now the Cushite wasn't the cursed seed as it was of Canaan. Canaan was the cursed seed. But so I want to get to some things right here. let's go to, let's just start in Genesis, right? Let's start at Genesis. And let's go to Genesis chapter 9 and 11. Is that right? Is that, hold on. I want to make sure. 9 and 18, I'm sorry. Here we go here. So we're in Genesis 9 and 18. Now, it say, and the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark was Shem and Ham and Japheth, and Ham the father of Canaan. So when you go into Hebrew and you look up Canaan, a son of Ham, also the country inhabited by him, Canaan, merchant, traffic, traffic. So let's go, we understand. Now, who is Ham? The same as, not from the tropical habit, but a son of Noah, also his descendant of their country, Ham. So, okay, so we just going into kind of the bloodline right now, right? We dealing with the bloodline. So, we understand we got Shem, Ham, and Japheth, right? Now, you say, so when Noah was told, not Noah, but Abraham was told to go to the land of Canaan, right? Abraham was told to go to the land of Canaan, which is, when you read the book of Genesis, you can go to 12. You can go to Genesis 12, and I believe that's 1 through 6. Why does God keep telling him to go to the land of Canaan? We need to understand that. And Abraham, okay, so let's do this. Now the Lord has said unto Abram, get thee out of the country, out the county, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make thee a great nation. Remember, nation is anything outside of Israel. So nation, like I said, that the Ishmaelites, Edomites, God knew this in advance. But that it started with, it's going to start with Abraham. So he tell him, I will make you a great nation, which he did. And I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. Now understand, when God make your name great forever. How long have the story of Abraham been, in existence? How long Moses' name, King David, Enoch, the disciples, like apostles, like when God make your name great, it's great forever. You got people that Satan make great, but their name is not forever. It's not forever. It's not being talked about every day. You have certain people, Michael Jackson, we got the Prince, we got the Whitney Houstons, the Aretha Franklins, the James Brown. Their name is great, but that's for only a season, only for a time frame. Their name is not great throughout history. You know what I'm saying? When God make your name great, it's great for this here is throughout history. In another 200, 300 years, we got Elvis, we got people that we don't talk about, the Harriet Tubmans, the Frederick Douglass, and, it's there, but it's not, in existence of every day. These names are being talked about every hour, every day. So that's what, when he said, I'm going to make your name great. When God make you great, you're great forever. Right? Now, let's go to Genesis 12 and 3. I will bless thee and them, and he say, let's get it. And I will make of thee great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. and I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curse thee, and these shall all families of the earth be blessed. Right? Because now we dealing with from Abraham. It's kind of we know it started from Noah, from coming off the boat. You know what I'm saying? Now we know that dealing with Abraham, you know what I'm saying? Now we about to spread nations out. Cause remember, at this time, there is no white people. At this time, there's no white people. No, everybody is this color. Everybody is one color right now. There's no white people. There's no light-skinned people. Everybody is black, dark. All right? So I want to make that clear. And Abraham took Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran. And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan. And into the land of Canaan they came. And Abram passed through the land unto the place of Shechem, unto the plain of Moreh, and the Canaanites, right? And was then the land. Now, when I say Canaanites, remember, let's look up Canaanites, because you have the ITE. What do you get? A Canaanite or inhabitant of Canaan. The implication, a pedar. The Canaanites standing for their neighbors, the Ishmaelites, who conducted Canaanite merchant trafficking. So now, understand. Canaanite or inhabitant of Canaan. Inhabitant means a descendant. So the Canaanites are descendant of who? Canaan. Remember, when I went to Noah and I told you about Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, Japheth. When I went to Ham, we saw that Ham was the father of Cush and Canaan. Canaanites. So we understand that Canaanites is not a religion. Canaanites is what? The Canaanites is a descendant or inhabitant of Canaan. The math is simple. All right. So, we're going to do real Bible. Y'all going to learn something. I'm not going to hit you with scriptures and not explain it. All right. But Abraham was told to go to the land of Canaan. Now, reason why God told him to get up and go to the land of Canaan is because Canaan belonged to the bloodline of Shem. You mean, what do you mean? Well, there was lots when Noah got off the boat, the ark, right? And it was him, his son, his wives, and their wives, the animals, whatever. This is the whole earth. Everybody else is destroyed. You got the animals. You got the angels who hid in the cave, right? What happened was Noah decided to cast lots. In other words, we're gonna divide the whole earth in 3 sessions, right? And wherever Lot lands, that is your land that you will conquer with your ancestors, not your descendants. And so what happened was Shem was given a certain lot. Let's say America. Shem was given America. Let's say Ham was given Africa, and let's say Japheth was given China, right? Which is pretty much, in some form like that. But I'm just saying it as an example. Shem was given America. Ham was given Africa, and Japheth was given China. So they swore until Noah and until the Most High God, and it was written in the heavens. Anything that's written in the heavens will be ordained on earth, right? So when you read the Lord's Prayer, say the Lord's Prayer, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, that will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Whatever is ordained in the heavens is ordained on earth also. So now, with these lots being passed, they swore that unless um, um, you don't land on anybody's lot, you will be cursed, and your seed will be cursed. So what did Canaan do? Canaan ended up going on Shem's lot. That was not his lot, and he was told not to be there because again the lot was not cast unto him. He did not care. Not only he went on the lot, he migrated and populated on the lot. So this happened all before Abraham was born. But guess what? Somebody knew. God knew. And so what happened? God knew. And so what ended up happening was God sent a kite to Abraham and said, go to the land of Canaan, which is the promised land, because that's your land. That's your land. Remember, if that, if Abraham wouldn't get insight as far as, because he don't know nothing about what was done, Now, don't get me wrong. They say Abraham was raised by Shem, and he did deal, I believe, with Noah at some point, but he was raised by Shem. But again, I'm not sure. It don't say where that was disclosed to Abraham that I remember reading, but we know that God did tell him go to the land of Canaan because that's your land. That's why he kept telling Abraham to go to the land of Canaan. That's why he told Jacob to go to the land of Canaan. That's why he told Isaac to go to the land of Canaan. That's your land. So I want to get that out the way. Now, let's go. So if you go, and again, you can go to Genesis 19. Let me show y'all something. Let's go to Genesis 19 and 37. Right? What do we got here? Let me see. I'm sorry about that. So you go to Genesis 19 and let's go to 37. What I'm showing here. Let's get it up some more. No, that's Moab. I'm sorry. That's something different. That's lots. That's, okay, so it was 19 and 26. Let's start with 19 and 26 first. All right. So we're going to deal with Lot's wife. But let's just deal with disobey order first. The sun was, okay, let's start with 23. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of the heavens. Let's look up Sodom. The Dead Sea. Scrolls burnt. Okay, cool. All right. And fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the plains and all the inhabitants of the cities and which grew upon the ground. So not only he destroyed Solomon and Gomorrah, but all the surrounding cities around it. All that's got, destroyed. But his wife looked back from behind and she became a pillar of salt. Right? Pillar of salt. Powder that is, salt that is. Now look, let me show y'all something. This is in the Bible, right? Let me show you something. Can I get Google here? Let me try to get on Google. Give me 1 second. Let's go with this here. Let's go with Lot's wife. If you Google Lot's wife, you'll see that she's still there right now today. You see this here? Let me show y'all something. That's her right there. Lot's wife. She's still there today. You can see her with the little dress on. She had the little thing on her head. You can see her. She's still there right now. Right there. He did that as a reminder. She will be there. She's not going anywhere. She's still there. So when, I just want to, so when people be saying stuff like the Bible's not real, how it's not real? When you have her still there right now today, Lot's wife. So I just want to show that, just so when people say the Bible is not real, okay, I guess it's not real. Now, another thing, now I want to go to 19 and 37. So now, when you read this here, let's try to get it. Let's try to get it up some. Oh, hold on, my fault. Let's get back. Okay. So now we're doing the night. So right here, it's and let's go to 1935. And they made their father. Okay, so now we talking about Lot's daughter. And they made their father drink wine that night. Well, let's go up a little bit. So this is the conspiracy of Lot's daughter, because they at this point they think the whole world is destroyed. So they say, "Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may proceed seed of our father." Now, when you look at the word lie in the Hebrew, a lie down for rest, sexual connection, deceit, or any other purpose. Because if you can lie dead. At all cast down, lay down, make to lie down, to sleep, still with, lodge, ravish, take rest, sleep, stay. So we understand, let's lie down with our father, sleep with our father. That's kind of where people get the word lie down from. When they say, I won't lay with you. So we understand that's what they want to do. I'm sorry about that. And they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesternight with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger arose and lay with him, and perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. All right. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son, and called him Moab. The same is the father of the Moabites. Again, Moab, Moabites. The ITE is just a descendant until this day. The younger, she also bare a son, and called him Benamah, the same as the father of the children of Ammon, or the Ammonites. So, this just, I want, when we're doing this, I just want people to really understand, when y'all call a certain religion, I want y'all to get the Bibles in entirety, and I don't want y'all to stop, because this is something that I always preach on, and it make a difference. You know, if you don't know who you are, you know what I mean? If you thinking like, hey, Israelites are a religion and they really God people, not saying that Christ is an Israelite. As you make it make sense. If Christ is an Israelite, what are you? Like, people are so dumb, and I mean, it is what it is. People are dumb, very dumb. I don't understand that. You're dumb. Like, I'm not an Israelite. Are you a follower of Christ? Yes. Well, Christ was an Israelite. I can prove it. So, I want to deal with that. And I'm going to do certain lessons every day, but we're going to get through this. I'm at 26 minutes. All right, let's get through a few more. Let's go to Genesis. Let's go to 25. Now, right now, I want to give you the first sign of a white man in the Bible. This is the first sign. So let's go to 25 and 24. Say 25. The birth of Esau and Jacob. All right. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian, of Padan, the sister to Laban, the Syrian. Right? Now, again, when he took wife of Rebekah, it said that Isaac was 40 and his wife was 12. She was 12. Can we get some clarity on that? Let's see. Let's get here. Because I know I have it in the book of Jasher. So let's go with how old was Isaac? How old was Isaac when? Hold on. How old was Rebekah when she married Isaac? Let's see, do they got it? The Bible doesn't state Rebekah's exact age, but traditionally suggests she was very young, possibly around 3 years old, based on calculation placing her birth shortly after Isaac was 37 when his mother Sarah died, and married him when he was 40. Genesis 25 and 20. However, other interpretations noting she was described as a fair maiden able to travel, suggesting she was a young woman, perhaps 10 to 14 years old, challenging the literary 3-year-old calculation. Well, they got some of it right. So, Rebekah was 12 years old when she married Isaac. She was 12. And again, we can read that in the book of Jasher. So let's go down. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Very important. The elder shall serve the younger. So let's say, and when her days to deliver were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over. Red all over. I'm going to say it again. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And they called him Esau. Esau. This is the first in the world of a white man. Before then, there was no white people. There's no white people. This is the first encounter of a white man. Genesis 25 and 25. And after that came his brother. All right. And his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. So, if Isaac was 80 years old, how old is 80? When you go into the Hebrew, 66. So, so multiple of 66, 80. 80? It say 66 years old. No, it say Isaac was 80 years old when she bowed down. So he should have been 60 because the second form is mentioned as the premise numbers 6 as beyond them. So a score is 20. So if they say 3 scores, that's 20. So we understand that according to this, and after that, it took a whole Esau. So yeah, he should have been 60 years old. And I want to do that like that. Let's see what else we can get into real quick. Because right now, I'm going to just kind of, each day I'm going to spend a little time with y'all. And we're going to get this out the way. Now, I want to go to where Esau changed his name. Right? And I'm going to stop there. Stop there. And it tells you right here. It tells you, and Jacob saw pottage, and Esau came from the field and was faint. And Esau said, Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. His name was called Edom. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthrights. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? Right? And so you got to keep in mind when you swear, as I said, what happened with Noah and his sons, when you swear, this is serious business dealing with the heaven. And Jacob said, swear to me this day, and he swore unto him, and he sold his birthrights unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lineage, and he did eat and drink and rose up, and he went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthrights. He said, when you sell your birthrights, you understand? When you sell your birthrights, you're not going to sell your birthright and then double back and be like, you know what? I'm not going to honor that, because the heaven's not going to honor that. When you swear, back in them days, your oath was very, very important. My bond is my word. Remember that? Understand that, like I said earlier, when Noah cast lots to his 3 sons, and they swore to the heavens, and they swore to their father that they won't land on each other lot, but then Canaan went on Shem lot, and that's what became the land of Canaan. And that's why God told Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to go to the land of Canaan, because it was already sworn that was Shem lot. Now, again, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob come from the bloodline of Shem. So that's his descendants' land. You understand what I'm saying? His descendants' land. It didn't belong to Ham, Canaan, Cush, or anybody in that bloodline. So that's what I'm saying. When Esau sold his birthrights to Jacob, then what happened was it was switched. You know what I'm saying? And we know the birthrights mean you get all the inheritance. So what happened is once the father passed away, he usually get the blessings to the firstborn, and they honor that, and they honor that. The heavens honor that. And no matter what you do, because this is a blessed man by God Himself. And so when He sold the birthright, it was done. It was set in stone. And he tried to double back, and it wasn't so. You only get one blessing out. So when your father when he put his hand and transferred power, you can only do that once. And it should be the firstborn. But I mean, that's what I'm gonna leave y'all with. Tomorrow I'm gonna get into some more. Tomorrow. I just want y'all to stay with me, and we just gonna try to get through the journey. We're gonna learn different things about the book of Genesis. And we'll kind of go for that. I'm going to be in and out, just breaking down certain little things that y'all didn't know. But with that being said, I'm just chiming in. I'll be back tomorrow. We gonna work. I'll be back tomorrow. Shalom.